Hi, I'm Susan Bolinger, and welcome to Forgiveness in 5. I want to talk for just a few moments about relationships. What do you look for in a friend? Do you look for someone who will make you laugh? Someone who is fun-loving, a social butterfly, someone who is very adventurous? Those are great personality traits. But you should look for character traits, things like dependability, loyalty, trustworthiness. Those are the ones that's going to matter in your life. There are 3 different types of categories for relationships, and that is short-term, long-term, and covenant relationships. People that go into a short term are childhood friends, neighbors, colleagues and coworkers, acquaintances, such as people at your child's sports team practice. You know, you're going to go through times where you may see those same people for several years, but then the season has changed and they've gone. Maybe they moved to a different state. Do you know most people will be in your short-term category? Long-term are your family members and your confidant. Everyone wants to have a confidant, and I know I personally have even looked for a confidant. But the one thing that I found out is don't look for a confidant. Just be one. When you do that, the Lord will bring to you who you're supposed to have as a confidant. Did you know that you may have 1 or 2 in your entire lifetime? And if you do, you are very, very blessed. Then we have a covenant relationship. A covenant relationship is between you and your spouse and your relationship between you and the Lord. A covenant relationship is a contractual relationship. When you marry your spouse, you stand before your pastor or you go before a judge and they marry you and you are exchanging vows. You're telling each other that you are going to behave a certain way. And when you uphold what you have promised, the reward is you get to stay married to that person. But you know, Jesus also requires the same out of us. Salvation is free, but He gives us the Word of God to tell us exactly how He wants us to act, how He wants us to behave. We have guidelines. And when we do what He has asked us to do, then our reward will be heaven. You know, there are boundaries that you need to place on your relationships. I would like to ask you to do an inventory of the friendships you have in your life. Have you placed each person into their respective category? Have you placed any boundaries on people? And if so, what are those boundaries? Like at 9 o'clock, I don't respond to text messages anymore. From 9 o'clock on, I'm either spending time with my family or I'm spending time with the Lord. And I'm not going to let any short-term person cross that boundary when I have devoted that time to my family and to the Lord. Do you allow someone to text you or call you anytime that they want to? Do they automatically expect you to respond to them within moments of you receiving the text? There's a lot of relationships that puts demands on you that are unfair and unfounded. And you are the one who governs your life. It's up to you who is in your life. And you need to be very, very choosy as to whom you let in your life and how close you allow them. So this week, I would like for you to do an inventory. See where people measure up. You may have people that you want to cultivate a relationship with and move them from a short-term to a long-term category. But there may be others in a long-term category that don't need to be in any category. You need to eliminate them out of your life because they could be toxic. These are just a few things that I talk about in my book, Bloom, a process to achieve complete forgiveness. If you would like to know more about this subject and many others, go to my website at bloomladiesministry.com and check out the bookstore. I pray blessings over you and your family, and I hope to see you again next time on Forgiveness in 5.